Welcome back, you beautiful people. How are you doing? We had a major update. Major with quotations around it. I'm gonna be real honest with you right out of the gate. Wasn't what a lot of us were hoping for. We were hoping for some more content or something. The hype behind what was told to us or said is not at all what has been done. With that being said, let's kind of look into it and see what that exactly means. We'll take a look at the arsenal, how to get there, what it looks like, so you guys get a full understanding of what it is. So, as anyone else can, everyone can pull this up and actually take a look at it. What we have here is just everything's back to green now, which is amazing. I love seeing the green finally. It's been a while since we've had it, so it's nice to have that luscious green and grays and browns back. Makes it a little more enjoyable in my opinion after having the winter. Next big thing was Spanish language. We are striving to update the game and make sure it is accessible to a wider playable for a wider audience. Finally, new localizations are being added to the game as of today. Spanish is being added to the language change menu. That's going to be massive for anyone that does prefer to have Spanish. That's going to be a big enjoyable for you guys, so I'm happy to see that is being added. It's kind of a nice feature finally. This was the big thing that they hyped up immensely, was the arsenal. It's not as great as it sounds, but that is okay. With that being said, we will go over how to get to it, what it looks like, and some of the pros and cons of it. More cons than pros, unfortunately, but we will be able to go in there and take a look at that, and I'll show you how to get to that. We did get a bunch of balance changes here with weapons. It's interesting. We were hoping that weapons that are meta currently would be taken out of that, or still be in that meta category, but we'd have more weapons that would be closer tiered to the meta and see a variety in guns being used versus it always being an AK-15 or a PKP pensing, things like that. You still have those one-offs here and there, but that's not what we got. We did get a lot of changes. If you guys want to read the changes, I will leave a link in the description and possibly pin it to the top comment of the link to Expo itself of this update, so you guys can review each weapon individually. Just for an instance, on my biggest thing is I was excited for the AK-308 to hopefully get a little bit of a buff and become usable and viable in the current meta, and they screwed it. This is the one that hurt me the most, I guess, because this is the gun that I've set aside, waiting, leveling it up slowly, getting it to the point where I was like, hey, you know what? It might finally be usable. They were changing the template. Life was going to be great. Yes, they bumped the damage by 0.4, increased the minimum damage and the maximum range damage. They lowered the recoil, but they reduced the first shot multiplier from a 1.5 to a 1, lowered the magazine, and lowered the overheat rate. They took our 35 round mag, dropped it to a 30 with the extended, and it's still nowhere near on par. And even if we go through the arsenal, which we'll get into a little bit more, it's still not even close to being even towards the end of the 59 or a 58. It's sad. There's some other things that did change, but a lot of it is draw time on pistols got reduced, so that's nice. Your aiming time got reduced on a lot of weapons, so those are some big ones. The two artifact changes that we saw are going to be for the polyhedron. Remove base stamina bonus of 11.7%. Remove or extra 1.2 speed priority has been replaced by 2.5 speed or stamina recovery, so no longer getting speed, you're actually getting a stamina. Additional stamina property increased from a 3.9 to an 11.7. So they removed the base and added it in as an additional when you are upgrading it. The Snake Eye base 14.6 stamina bonus has been replaced by 1.5 speed bonus. So that is what it is, but they added the additional stamina bonus can be changed, or bonus changed from 4.9 to 14.6. So instead of it being in the base amount of the Snake Eye, it is now as additional as you're leveling it up. Same with the additional speed bonus changed from 1.5 to a 0.05. So if you roll an additional on leveling it, instead of a 1.5, you get a 0.5, but you have the 1.5 speed bonus as the base versus a stamina. Kind of confusing. Now, the biggest thing they did that made me truly happy is you now can put your metal detector in your secondary slot. So where you would put a pistol, your mini shotguns, things like that, it now can go in the secondary slot. That is huge. I love that. It makes me happy. I've bitched about it before. I'm glad to see it's changed. It's the only thing that made me excited out of this entire patch notes. Now that my ranting is out of the way, your hybrid 46 is now compatible with all 545, 556, and 9mm caliber weapons, which it should be. The hybrid 46 in every other game has always been able to be used across almost every weapon platform to a degree. So it's really nice to see that now we can put it on 545 and 556. Not that I have one, but either way. Vodka and industrial vodka effect weak radiation cleansing has now been push to a weak boost. It's kind of unfortunate because some of these buffs you could also stack with a weak boost, but now that it is just a weak boost that you can't stack that as much. The alcohol removed the radiation output, effect type weak radiation to weak frost output. So a little bit of a change there. Now it's a weak frost output instead of a weak radiation. Jolly Lemonade and Brine fixed the incorrect rank. It was set as a master, it is now a veteran. AK-30 Mate Mag, as we already discussed earlier, is now a 30 instead of a 35. They did change some new audio in the game, which is really nice. So your anomalies are a lot more, the sounds of them are absolutely insane. We'll cut to a part of showing you the sounds of like each one. The low ammo and magazines now accompanied by an audible hint. When firing, for example, if there are 5 rounds left, you will hear a click sound from the striker. So that's kind of nice, giving you a little bit, in the middle of a fight, you have an idea of where you're at. It's changing the ammunition type in the main weapon. So that's kind of nice, actually. And then fix some technical problems in performance of underbarrel grenade launchers. And then the ability to discharge or equip underbarrel grenade launchers from a weapon using RMB, right mouse button. They did some changes to the battles of subdivision battles and tournaments. I don't think it is anything that's too crazy. Remove damage from trampolines, which is nice. So it's just from the fall damage. So initially hitting a trampoline is not going to hurt you. If you hit it to take a jump up, it's not going to hurt you. It's the fall that's going to kill you. They updated some models on some different things. Added a new animation present to some melees. Our presets. Keys are no longer lost when the key holder is improved. Changed smoke grenade models. Changed some of the skins and the way they work. And that is about it. Reduce the volume hitting sounds on surfaces. Update the audio for the following anomalies: discharge, whirlpool, blender, and stasis. So that's kind of cool. We have some new changes to the sounds. So let's go take a look at what it is to get to Arsenal, what it takes to get to the Arsenal, and then what we have to do when we get there in order to meet them. So I'm going to cut to when we are in Labyrinth. You can do it from Labyrinth or Stillwater. I choose Labs just because I like Labs a little better. All right, now that we are in Stillwater, we do have to have a wide range detector and your scanner, whether you need to have one or not, or the like candle or something like your Buriat. So we're going to scan for signal. Go traverse through Labs. Labs is it's kind of tedious to find your way around sometimes in what you're looking for, but we just kind of have to make our way around. All right. So now that we found our backpack here on the ground, we can just pick it up. We did not get a portal. What we are looking for is like the exit portal. So we grab that one. We are overweight. Let me drop a little bit here. So now we are going to head our way to our next signal. So I've seen some people take upwards of 20 to get it. Other people have got it in first try. It's kind of hit or miss, but we just kind of got to keep looking for our... We just got to keep looking for our signal. This is where it gets hard, is we can tell it's off to the right, but it means we got to take a kind of a funky pathway to get to the spot where it is. All right, back to trying to find this signal. Could be in here, off to the corner. All right, so if we notice this time, we have an actual bubble. So we're going to step into the bubble, crouch. Try to crouch, and then you get teleported to the Arsenal workshop. We walk in, try to interact with the gentleman. He's going to give you a couple prompt questions. You just go through it, and this is a screen we're met with. So these weapons are going to be ones that are crate weapons. So anything that is pulled from a crate, it's not supposed to be parts, but it might be. I think this one was a part gun, so the fact that it's in here, I'm not quite sure. But if we select, let's say, the 308, we notice that we need 10,000 currency or whatever the hell they're counting this as. But if we go back and go to the cell, we can see he has a tab here that'll let us know how much, or like what the item is that we can sell to him in order to get these. These are going to change supposedly daily. We're not 100% sure. From what I understand, it's going to be daily, but we can get different materials to take. You have to carry them here. You can't access your inventory. They have to be in your inventory. You bring them here and you sell them. Once you have your 10,000, you click on your gun, bring the gun that you want to bring with, and turn it into the next one. So for instance, if you take an HK417, its damage is 46.4 units. You turn it in, you pay for it, you buy it. Now it is a 48.5. The only thing to keep in mind with this is, let's say if I took my 308 that I have, it is a plus 12. I turned it in from the 42.5 base damage at starting level 0. Turn it into this one at 44.4. So I turned it in and gained 2.9 levels roughly. 1.9 levels, it looks like. It's not even that much. With that being said, Yeah, 2.9. I lose those levels. So as of right now, it is a plus 12. I turn it in. I get a level 0 AK-308 back. Lose my levels for it. But now it starts at 44.4 units of damage instead of the 42.1. 42.5. But you have to make sure you go and farm materials, bring it with you, and turn them in. So that seems kind of daunting. It is daunting, especially when you're farming materials and have to carry it with you to turn them in. But let's say you go and farm golden minerals. You go and collect a bunch from Reflection or Stillwater, back G2 or whatever it is. You take it to your base first, and it now has become bound to you. So if you were to die on your way to finding this signal to get to the arsenal, you don't lose them. If you go straight from farming them to turning them in and you die, someone else can collect those and you have lost those materials to turn in for your currency for this. I don't understand why we lose our levels. I don't know if that's intended yet. I don't know if their plan is that you need to get to a 15 first, then turn it in, and then it resets it. But that's going to put a really weird market on tools and advanced spare parts and tools because they're so finite as it is and they're super expensive to get. I personally have a feeling that they are going to do it that way, where you have to get it a plus 15, turn it in, get a 0, because more people are going to spend more money on advanced parts. Whales are going to spend money on advanced parts and tools to then sell them to make money. So Expo is making more money. I hope that's not what their plan is. I just have a feeling that's where it's going to be. Other than that, we have no new events. We have no new content. They didn't change anything nothing new in cases. Everything is exactly the same except for making some weapons better, quotation marks, and that's it. Kind of a lackluster update, especially as much as they pushed it and hyped it up. So I'm hoping that this isn't all of it, and next week we see some changes that fix some of the issues. But for as of right now, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Let me know how you feel about it down in the comments. I'll be curious. Like I said, some of these are my personal opinions and how I feel about it. I had a sentimental attachment to the 308 that I was excited for. They hyped that the template was changing, that it was gonna get buffs. It got a small buff, and then they nerfed the shit out of it otherwise. So let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. Like I said, you might not agree with how I feel about this patch notes or these updates. I'm kind of torn about it, but either way, I appreciate you guys. If you made it this far, like I said, let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know you made it this far, and until next time, we'll see you later.